All right, let's see. The village of Ardmore is just northwest of here. Once I get there, I can deliver this letter the king gave me and then be on my way back home. No more complications or delays. Nothing but efficient and timely letter delivery from here on out. Except that mysterious hooded fellow seems to be blocking my one path into town. Right. Okay. I can foresee maybe one more tiny complication. It's a sizable maple tree. Looks like it's been growing untouched for quite a while. I don't need to climb the tree. Besides, I get sap all over my uniform. It's a typical Tarmian patrol blade. Should be more than enough for bandits and beasts. Anything larger, though, I'll be in trouble. Walking around with my blade unsheathed could be seen as a sign of aggression. And honestly, I'd rather avoid any unnecessary attention. It's a royal missive penned by Sunsgrove's king, Darbead. I'm to deliver it with haste to a retired scout captain somewhere here in the border coast, in a village called Ardmore. Breaking the seal on a royal missive doesn't seem like the best way for a courier to advance in their career. I'll just admire the letter from the outside and imagine all the intriguing things that could be written in there.
Well now, it is not often I see a new face from Sunsgrove crossing my path. And when I do, they are aimless merchants or entrepreneurs, like myself. But you look like you're on a mission.
Hardly. Just passing through on my way to Ardmore.
Oh, come now. We both know that you are not just some wandering fool. You tell me what you are really doing here, and perhaps we can have ourselves a civilized conversation.
I'm not lying. I'm a visitor from Sunsgrove and I'm trying to get to Ardmore. Any details beyond that are my business and mine alone.
Do you really think you can afford that kind of tone? In this place, so far from any who can hear you?
Is that a threat?
Oh, merely an observation, though you are in a dangerous place filled with all kinds of threats. So, I can see why you may be confused.
So, is this the part where you try to rob me? Because I can save you a lot of trouble if we just skip to the part where you realise I have nothing of value.
Rob you? No, of course not. Why would I rob you? I know you can pay my toll, and we both know you must reach Ardmore.
I just told you I have nothing of value.
No, tolls can be paid in more ways than one. How about a little business proposition instead? You do a little favor for me, and I convince all my friends here in the border coast to leave you be for as long as you travel these woods.
I'm not going to do you a favor for inconveniencing me.
Think of it more as a favor to stop me from inconveniencing you.
That just sounds worse. I'm walking away now.
It is no fur off my tail, but whenever you get tired of trying in vain to find another way to Ardmore, come talk to me.
I hate to admit it, but he's right. There's no getting to Ardmore without convincing this Felis to let me pass. The forest is pretty thick through here. Looks like the only way northeast is the narrow path around it. There are some cliffs to the east, but the forest dips down into a valley that stretches along the entire border coast. Nice as the view is, I can't bring it with me. Better get a good look at it while I can. Looks like the forest has been left to grow wild on the other side of the brook. I can see some hints of an older path there, but it's clearly been a long time since anyone's used it. I need to deliver King Darbeed's missive to Captain Taller. Throwing it in the forest does not accomplish that. Unless... Captain Taller, are you in there? No, he is not.
Knew you'd be back. Change your mind about that favor?
Honestly, I was hoping maybe you'd change your mind.
And why would I do that?
I was testing your memory. Figured maybe you might have forgotten who I was.
I assure you that I have not.
I figure you don't really know until you try. And I did. And clearly you do remember who I am, so we're back to where we started.
So it seems. Come back when you are ready to deal.
This isn't working. I may have to do this fool a favour after all.
Knew you'd be back. Change your mind about that favor?
Honestly, I was hoping maybe you'd change your mind.
And why would I do that?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking you might have retired since we last spoke.
Retired?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you'd had some investments with some merchants, a few patrons turned a profit, and you decided to retire.
Since we last spoke, you are thinking this has all happened?
I don't know, did it?
No, it did not. Come back when you are ready to deal.
This isn't working. I may have to do this fool a favour after all.
Knew you'd be back. Change your mind about that favor?
Yes, fine, all right. Just tell me what it is I need to do for you to step aside.
Not long ago, a merchant could not pay my toll. Instead, he gave me his journal, which he insisted would lead me to a stash of valuable buried treasure. I was distracted by the idea long enough for him to flee. Then I opened the book and discovered it was complete gibberish. But then I think, perhaps it is simply a language I do not know. Here, take a look.
This isn't gibberish. It's written in Tarmian script. See the tree-like letters? The last entry here does refer to hiding a treasure. It says the merchant's cart turned over in a stream and he hid the goods nearby.
Is that so? Well, there is a merchant's cart just east of here. Perhaps you could take a look.
So, this journal is written in Tarmian script. Which means its owner was a Tarmian like me, right?
Yes, he was. These woods are quite dangerous for Tarmians, so he was lucky to run into me. You see, there are many slaver gangs in these woods, and Tarmian like you and him, well, I've heard Tarmian fetch a good deal of coin.
That's unsettling.
Indeed, but you have nothing to worry about, of course.
Right, of course. You said this merchant gave you his journal and then ran off. Do you know where he went?
Where? Well, I mean, Ardmore, probably. He probably went to Ardmore.
But you didn't think of finding him again to translate the journal?
Hey, you know, that's a good idea. Of course, now you're helping me, so that's not really necessary. You know, thankfully.
Uh-huh. All right, I'll head east and find this cart. See if I can't figure out where this treasure is buried. And once I've found it, you'll let me travel the border coast at will. No more roadside tolls from you or your friends.
My dear, I give you my word. Find that merchant's treasure, and we will not bother you long as you walk our forest.
I'm not sure it'd be possible to trust him any less than I do right now. But at least his favour sounds simple enough. I should head east and search that overturned merchant's cart. I'm pretty sure if I tried to run him through, he'd call off our little deal. Then I'd have to worry about his bandit friends all up and down the border coast. Hardly an ideal situation. The brook splits apart here, but I can see it carrying on farther east. I'm not very thirsty right now. It's a rather large bush, or shrub, one of those two. Quite a few of these growing around here, since this is a forest and all. It's not a bush or a shrub, really. More of a hedge. I'm glad I know these things. They're really important. I'm not reaching into a mystery hedge unless there's a prize involved. There's an old cart path over there, but it's been taken by the forest. Sunsgrove's forest scouts would never let a trail grow that wild, but I suppose standards here are different. Well, there's the mystery cart I'm looking for. According to that merchant's journal, there are some hidden valuables around here. I should take a closer look at the cart. See if he left any clues. Right, let's have a look. All I can find here is an old gardening trowel. Some mud caked on it, but that doesn't tell me much. However, there are some faint footprints leading away from the cart towards the main path. I should see if I can pick up the merchant's trail. Looks like there are some cliffs blocking the path ahead. Climbing them would only take me farther away from town. I should focus on getting to Ardmore first. All right, that's not a bad place to check. Some faded footprints, but nothing else I can see. Looks like he was on the move. But why? Suppose I should poke around a bit, see if the merchant left any clues back there. Nothing back there. Well, except for some gross bugs. But I don't need any of those. The footsteps could be leading behind this bush. No merchant, just a lot of footprints. Looks like he was hiding here. But from what? He left something in the dirt here. Seems to be a torn page from his journal. It says, "The yellow hood is still nearby. Not safe. Took the wrong path. Hid the valuables here." There's a drawing of a mushroom? At least I think it's a mushroom. Maybe? No? I wish he wasn't such a terrible artist. Also sounds like this merchant had a bit more of an adversarial relationship with my yellow-hooded Felis friend than he let on. Still, suppose all this gives me a clue to work from. Just need to figure out where exactly those goods are buried. It's a flimsy gardening trowel, used for digging in the dirt and little else. It's a torn page from the merchant's journal that he left in his hiding spot. He mentions fleeing from a yellow-hooded scoundrel in the woods, then writes that his buried goods are near a mushroom of some kind. I can only assume that's a mushroom anyway. It's not very well drawn. I suppose it's possible that the merchant buried his treasure right here. Would be a bit anticlimactic, I suppose. All right, well, there's nothing here. I guess this qualifies as a treasure hunt now. A larger mushroom, easily noticeable. Could be where the merchant buried his treasure. A little red mushroom, and also a possible hiding place for that merchant's treasure. A large, rather disgusting yellow mushroom. Could very well be that he buried his treasure here, but I'm really hoping he didn't. A bit conspicuous, I suppose, but then maybe that's how he was planning to remember where he buried it. Nope, nothing. A bunch of tree roots and tiny critters with far too many legs. It's a little red mushroom, pretty close to that felis bandit too. I doubt the merchant made it this far before doubling back, but who knows? I found this behind a bush near the cart. Seems the merchant had a habit of writing things down.
Oh? What kinds of things?
Oh, you know, nothing too specific. Just that he was being stalked by a felis bandit in a yellow hood before he mysteriously disappeared.
I hate to get in the way of a good story, but many of my fellow felis entrepreneurs wear the same yellow hood. The colors, they take after the flag of Kishar, our homeland on the eastern coastline.
You really expect me to believe that this merchant was disappeared by some completely unrelated felis bandit in a yellow hood?
You can choose to believe whatever you wish, but a deal is a deal, no matter what fate truly befell that merchant.
I'm confused. Are you admitting that you had something to do with the merchant's disappearance, and you're asking me to ignore it?
I'm merely saying that regardless of what happened to the merchant and whatever it is you think you found, our deal remains intact.
Forgive me, but I'm having a hard time believing I can trust you.
I will not deign to suggest you trust me to my word. We are not fools. This is little more than a business arrangement. You give me something I want, I give you something you want. A deal is a deal, fair and square.
Okay, this might be a little embarrassing, but here we go.
What exactly are you doing?
Oh, I'm just digging up this mushroom. Don't mind me.
Well, okay then.
And nothing. Great.
What exactly were you hoping to find?
Oh, nothing. I wasn't expecting to find anything. So, what I meant to say was, nothing. Great. Right, let's give this yellow mushroom a try. Nope, nothing here. Just a bunch of grubs and rocks. Sure, maybe the treasure's buried under the disgusting yellow mushroom. Okay. I think I can safely say there's nothing buried here. A large, rather disgusting yellow mushroom. Could very well be that he buried his treasure here, but I'm really hoping he didn't. Sure, maybe the treasure's buried under the disgusting yellow mushroom. Okay. I think I can safely say there's nothing buried here. A larger mushroom, easily noticeable. Could be where the merchant buried his treasure. A bit conspicuous, I suppose, but then maybe that's how he was planning to remember where he buried it. Nope, nothing. A bunch of tree roots and tiny critters with far too many legs. I found this behind a bush near the cart. Seems the merchant had a habit of writing things down.
Oh? What kinds of things?
Oh, you know, nothing too specific. Just that he was being stalked by a fearless bandit in a yellow hood before he mysteriously disappeared.
I hate to get in the way of a good story, but many of my fellow fearless entrepreneurs wear the same yellow hood. The colors, they take after the flag of Kishar, our homeland on the eastern coastline.
You really expect me to believe that this merchant was disappeared by some completely unrelated fearless bandit in a yellow hood?
You can choose to believe whatever you wish, but a deal is a deal, no matter what fate truly befell that merchant.
I'm confused. Are you admitting that you had something to do with the merchant's disappearance, and you're asking me to ignore it?
I'm merely saying that regardless of what happened to the merchant and whatever it is you think you found, our deal remains intact.
Forgive me, but I'm having a hard time believing I can trust you.
I will not deign to suggest you trust me to my word. We are not fools. This is little more than a business arrangement. You give me something I want, I give you something you want. A deal is a deal, fair and square. Well, you look around that upturned cart yet? Any news?
Working on it. I'll let you know when I find anything.
If you ever want to get to Ardmore, you'd better.
It's a little red mushroom. Pretty close to that fearless bandit too. I doubt the merchant made it this far before doubling back, but who knows? Could the merchant have buried his treasure right next to the fearless? That'd be ironic. But I'm not about to go digging through the forest floor with my bare claws. Okay, this might be a little embarrassing, but here we go.
What exactly are you doing?
Oh, I'm just digging up this mushroom. Don't mind me.
Well, okay then.
And nothing. Great.
What exactly exactly were you hoping to find?
Oh, nothing. I wasn't expecting to find anything. So, what I meant to say was, nothing! Great! All right, maybe the merchant's treasure is under here. I don't believe it. There it is. The merchant's hidden treasure is an envelope of red powder? Not quite as exciting as a pile of Vulpin silvers, I'll admit. Hopefully that fearless rogue has an open mind about the whole treasure thing. It's some kind of crushed red powder. Pepper, maybe? Could be Kishari pepper from the Felis kingdom of Kishar. Very rare and very expensive. Smugglers try to sneak it into neighbouring kingdoms to avoid paying tariffs at the border. So, that would explain why the merchant hid it. But anyone hoping for a treasure chest of jewels and coins would be sorely disappointed.
Well, have you found the treasure?
Yes, I've got it right here. Some kind of red powder.
What? Let me see that. You are certain there was nothing else? No gold or silver?
Like I said, it was just this red powder. You know what it is?
Kishari pepper. The damn fool was smuggling cooking spices. He said he was transporting treasure. I didn't think he was being metaphorical.
Okay, well, metaphor or not, I did your favour. Are you going to let me pass now?
No, I'm afraid not.
You can't be serious. After everything you said, when I took you at your word.
I know, that must be very embarrassing for you. But as I said, this is nothing more than a business arrangement. And to someone in my line of business, well...
You're a slaver gang.
Just some entrepreneurs trying to make our way in this hostile world.
Aha.
So, here's what's going to happen. You are going to give me your blade and your valuables, and then you are coming with me.
Oh, you want my blade? Come and get it. Well, at least now you can't hurt anyone else. I should press on to Ardmore. some amber drops in his pocket. They've blood on them, metaphorically, but they're certainly better in my paws than his. I already searched his pockets. Nothing else worth taking.